verse 33. Who shall lay anything to the charge of God's elect? Who shall lay anything to the charge of God's elect? When you read Romans 8:33, what comes to mind? If you are comprehending the story of biblical history, the grand scheme of things, namely this place of power that Satan has to converse, accuse, and promote the condemnation of sinners in a contest against God, who longs and wishes to save them. You know that this odious devil, as a stench in the nostrils of God, has been laying charge against God's elect for 4,000 years. And he, for 4,000 years, was never silenced. The legal proceedings continued for 4,000 years, and God in heaven never rested his case. The argument continued. Century upon century, millennia upon millennia, there's still an argument in heaven. This is an epic battle in the courtroom of heaven, where this wise and crafty devil is laying charge against God's elect. It's only after the coming of Christ we might triumphantly say, who shall lay a charge against God's elect? It is God that justifieth. Remember the preaching of the gospel in the book of Acts? The man, Christ Jesus, who has power to forgive sins, providing a justification for us for all things in which we could not be justified under the law. You see how this is a statement of victory against the devil? Who shall lay anything to the charge of God's elect? That is, the prince of this world has been judged. Who shall lay anything to the charge of God's elect? It is God that justifieth. Who is he that condemneth? Powers, principalities, Lucifer, fallen angels. Who is he that condemneth? Where are your accusers? Where are your accusers, O bride of Christ? Where are your accusers? Satan has been cast out of heaven. You shouldn't suffer his voice in your house on earth. You shouldn't suffer his voice in your ears or in your tabernacle or in your family or any of the dominion of Christ here on earth among his people. If Christ won't suffer him in heaven, we should not suffer him here. Who is he that condemneth? It is Christ that died, yea, rather, that is risen again, who is even at the right hand of God, who also maketh advocacy or intercession for us. There's the advocate. The same word in the Greek isn't used, but the word intercession is used, and it's a synonym. He might as